All right, got this redmax. I think it's ES or ebz8500, and the guy says it's just not running good. So first thing I like to do is go ahead and take off this cover. I want to take a look at the exhaust port, look down inside the cylinder and see what's going on. So we're going to take this cover off. It looks like it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Already got 2 out screws, and then we'll take a look at what's going on. Okay, that's this cover. And oh yeah, actually there's 5. There's one down here. Okay, we got that off. Now we're gonna pull the plug so that it's easy to get the motor spinning, and then we'll take and get this muffler off. See if we can see that. Might tilt this camera up a little bit. Okay, so we got 3 of the bolts right here. They look like about the same size as the cover fasteners. Yeah. Now we could take this off and just check the screen, but to me it looks pretty dry. It doesn't look like there's a lot of crap going on right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and look at the cylinder and the piston and make sure that it's not all jacked up. So let's get those off. That one's tight. And when those get pretty tight like that, I just like to PB blast a little bit in there first, and then if need be, I'll take and put a vice grip around here, hold it real tight, and just tap on it while I try to turn it loose, because I don't want to strip those. And when I put that penetrant in there, I want to go on the back side of this to try to get it down in there closer to where the threads are on that. So there's that one. And I'll go kind of over in this area and get some down in there, so that way probably I'll get some of that penetrant in there. Give it a couple minutes, come back, try to loosen those up. Okay, gave this a couple minutes to soak in. Let's see if we can get these going here. Don't want to go. So then what I'll actually do is I'll get a socket and a little wrench on this just to get them started loosening. Okay, so I got the 6.5 millimeter fits like perfectly onto this. I guess it's a 1/4 inch. Let's see. Okay, get that in there and push into it. Let's get a little torque on there. I get a little bar. Okay, so I got a little bar I'm going to stick on the end of this just to give me some leverage. And hopefully this thing will cooperate. Try not to strip it. Pushing into it. There we go. Got it broke. Same thing on this one. Try to push into it. I'm using my elbow, push down on the far end of this breaker bar. Here, I think that's it. Got it. Okay, cool. Don't want to strip the heads of those bolts. Now they should come out pretty easy. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got this off, and just keep track of that little gasket there for the exhaust. And let's take a look inside of there. Let's take that plug out. Okay, we got a little 5/8 action up here to get to this. Take this plug out, make this motor easier to spin over. Get that out. Now this is gonna spin real easy. I don't know if you can see. See if we can see inside of there. Maybe get a little closer. All right, I'm gonna hold this so it's gonna be little. Okay, doesn't look like a whole lot of carbon buildup. Okay, it looks pretty toasty. It's pretty burnt. Yeah, look at that. I'm gonna take and see how that feels. There's a whole lot of carbon buildup right here. Whether this is scratched or just carbon built up, looks like it's just carbon. Let's try to clean that up and see what it looks like. If we can, it's not too damaged. Okay, so I'm holding this camera and I'm doing this, and I'm trying to get in here and see if I could just kind of like nice and easy with a, not a sharp, but a fairly smooth screwdriver here. I'm just taking the end of it, getting that excess carbon off. Then I'll take a little compressed air, blow into there, and get that excess stuff off of there. Not a terrible amount, I've seen much worse, but yeah, we'll just get that off. I'm not scratching the piston too much, just taking care to scratch off the carbon lightly, as light as possible. Get on both sides there. Really on the right side there, you can see it was more carbon buildup. Okay, let's. Yeah, and then in between the two rings there's a lot of carbon. There's a lot of oil I see right here. Actually, that's the PB that I squirted on there earlier. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the little margin area or whatever that is in between the rings, that's got a lot of carbon built up on it. Looks like the rings are okay, in decent shape. Okay, this is cleaning up pretty good. Not scratching the piston, just scratching the carbon off. Okay, it's looking better. And I think this will be worthy of just probably stick a new carburetor and fuel lines in it to get it to go good there. I'm just going to get that last bit of carbon off the bottom of that the piston skirt right there, if you can see that right there. I'm just going to scratch that off, and then I'll just blow this out with some compressed air with the piston in this position, so I'm not blowing this debris back into the engine. So when you're going to blow it out or whatever, don't leave it exposed like that, the cylinder exposed. Make sure that piston's kind of up like this, blocking it from the cylinder. Okay, we got most of that carbon buildup out of there. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. Then I'm going to check and feel what kind of compression we got, and I might even take a compression tester for giggles, see what's going on. Feels like it's got really good compression. Okay, I got this Harbor Freight compression tester and matching it up with the looks like that's the right size pigtail, and I'm gonna try to get this started. It's at a weird angle, and I almost don't even want to do this because you don't want to cross thread this. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to do that. Just a bad idea, unless I wanted to take this off, which I really don't want to. The compression feels pretty good, so we'll go with it. I have not even tried to fire this up yet, but I'm getting ready to. As you can see right here, it is pretty dirty. Fuel lines don't feel too bad. Okay, this one's pretty jacked up, and well, they both feel pretty still usable. So let's I got to put this on the ground so I can pull it easier to see what it's doing. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and try to get this fired up, see what happens. Got the primer bulb on the bottom, hit that a couple times. This little choke lever on these redmax, they break off pretty easy, and this one is broke off, so you really got to dig your fingers in there to get it to come up. So that's up now. Let's see what this thing does. Okay, I got it primed. I don't know what the procedure is for this. It's just do what you got to do. If it doesn't start in the choke after a couple pulls, I'll put the choke off and then open up the throttle. See if this throttle thing isn't working. Okay. Looks like it works. And it's just got an off button on here, just a push to stop button right here, little red one. And here's the throttle. It's like an older model. So let's see what it does. Man, that thing's powerful. But it looks like I got some of my my PB juice is burning on the exhaust there. That's no big deal. But that's with choke closed. It's running like a monster with the choke closed. Let's see what it does with the choke open. See if it'll run. Okay, that's choke open. Now nothing. Probably just carburation. Kind of want it to do it. I'm going to go half choke. New carburetor. Okay, before going with replacing the carburetor, checking the fuel filter. I mean, it looks okay. With it only running in choke, it means it's not getting enough gas. Could it be a restriction in the fuel filter? We could put on a different one and throw it in there and see. But I'm thinking that this thing is probably not restricting anything. Another thing is in here that the screen inside of the carburetor might have some debris, so we're going to go ahead and take that off real quick and take a look. So we'll just have to take this cover off here and then get to the carburetor to pull it off and take a look at it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take this off right here. That'll pop off. There we go. There's a lot of fuel. Oh, there's oil. There's a lot of oil in this thing, man. There's a ton of oil. How'd all that oil get in there? That's crazy. Just smells like motor oil. Okay, so that means we're going to take off the air cleaner cover here and see what's going on. I guess this guy's young guy. He's starting his landscaping business. He bought a new one of these, but he wants this worked on. So some of these guys, they see a hole or some kind of opening, like some of the helpers doing the landscaping, and they'll just start pouring gas in the hole. They'll pour oil in the hole. If it's not running right, they'll just start doing that stuff. Let's take a look. Air filter looks really good. Usually there's a sponge type thing on top. There it is. Yeah, so that sponge, that looks pretty clean. Well, no, it's kind of dirty, but anyways, we'll knock that off a little bit. Since I'm going to take this carburetor off, I'm going to go ahead, spray it down a little bit with some cleaner, and then take and power wash it off real quick. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take this off. So we got bolt here, bolt here. I don't think these need to come off this cover. And then we'll be able to slide it off. And we're going to take this bottom part off here where the bulb is underneath there and see if there's a screen blockage. And if it looks okay, we'll probably just leave it alone, order a new carburetor. If it's all clogged up, we'll clean it out and try to run it again, see if it'll run with the choke off. Okay, so I just got these two bolts loose. Now this should pull right off. There we go. And that's just sitting there. And we'll go ahead and grab that off. Try to set it down here on the bench. Take this. Take a little picture snapshot of that. See where those lines go. Okay, and then pull these off real quick. Okay, okay. See if we can get that cover off there, see what's happening. Squirt this gas out real quick. Wipe that up. Wipe it off. Still super dirty on the back side there. Okay, now I'll take a Phillips and get this stuff off here. See if we can find that internal screen. Okay, on this last little screw here, bolt. Then we'll pop this off. The whole thing should just pop right off here. The diaphragm's under here. There we go. Set that down. Diaphragm should be good because it does run pretty awesome. Now under here should be that screen where we can check and see if it's clogged up or what. See if some debris got in there. Let's see. There's that screen. Man, that looks clean as could be right in there. Now maybe it's something with these little flapper valves here. These little flapper valves. Maybe they're not subtle enough. But that screen, if you can see that, I mean, that's super clean. Nothing's blocking that up. So, probably just order a new carburetor for this thing. And install it. Call it good. Thinking about trying it with a new filter on there and seeing what happens, but I don't know. I'll just go with this and order a new one. I'm gonna put that back into place here. Okay, carburetor and fuel lines.